Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannon's Insurance, Penrite Oil, Hare and Forbes Machinery House, and Pace Farm Eggs. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Classic Restos here in Pennsylvania, United States of America. But before we go any further on today's episode, you need to check out these people. Shannon's offer us as enthusiasts just so much more. Classic bikes, cars, trucks. Bundle it all together with your house and contents and receive a multi-policy discount. Call Shannon's on 134646 for a quote. Sign up for the Shannon's Club. Interact with others. List your car club. Find events and so much more. The Shannon's Club truly is your garage at shannons.com.au. For oil, coolants and additives, choose Penrite. They have stood the test of time. Established 1926. Australian owned, Australian made. Oil with more zinc for older style engines. No matter what the engine, no matter what the application. Contact the Penrite Technical Assistance Team 7 days a week at penriteoil.com.au. Oil right, use Penrite. Simply a better class of oil. For some of the largest range of tools for all trades and DIYs, don't go past Hare and Forbes Machinery House. Established 1930, with branches around Australia and New Zealand. Their showrooms will have you browsing for hours, and no matter where you are, you can buy online at machineryhouse.com.au. From a garage jack through to a lathe, Hare and Forbes has the range. machineryhouse.com.au. And on this week's episode of Classic Restos, it is time for the Mopar fraternity to enjoy their camaraderie. Welcome to the 2015 Carlisle Chrysler Nationals. And of course, it's a Carlisle event. It's about the cars, the people, and the excitement. This is, if not the largest Mopar event in the world. One thing that sets Mopar people aside is that they support makes that are continually admired by even the Ford and Chevy guys. The Mopar marque is certainly the most cohesive, and owning practically any Mopar these days, from a Valiant through to a Viper and all things in between, is pretty cool. Chrysler event manager Ed Bezeski and his team at Carlisle Events has done it again. The Chrysler shows never cease to amaze, attracting anywhere up to 3,000 Mopars and tens of thousands of die-hard supporters through the gates of the Carlisle Fairgrounds over 3 Mopar-mungus days. This year, the Golden Commandos are in attendance, so too are the legendary Ram Chargers. Even Tom Wopat, better known as Luke Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard TV show, thought he would drop in and pay a visit as well. Iconic Building G showcases the 60th anniversary of the Forward Look, marking forward progression even while they're parked up. Chrysler's famed revolution in design shook the automotive world in 1955 through to 1961, depicting the atomic age with their impressive gleaming grilles, sweeping winged sides and towering tail fins. In Building Y, you will enjoy the Barracuda and Challenger TA reunion. 2015 marks the 45th anniversary of the 1970 Trans Am racing season. In here, you will be gobsmacked by barn finds, survivor cars, and ones with low mileage. These were the cars that made you want to get up and drive to work every day. Building T is special invitational, and in here, you'll never know what you will discover. It's mostly muscle, but it doesn't matter if it's not. And every Chrysler Nationals here at Carlisle has the incredible Survivors tent in row 1B. Yes sir, original cars, low mileage cars, often the same owner cars. Wish they were my cars, you'll find them in here. And they all have their own unique story to tell. All right, here we go, the 2015 Carlisle Chrysler Nationals. And if you're a Mopar head, things don't get any better than this. Now, I thought I'd start today's show with a vehicle that you'd probably least expect. We have Jerry with a gorgeous Plymouth Fury wagon. How you doing, Jerry?
I'm Fletch. I'm doing well. Nice day, overcast.
You guys wait for this at Carlisle, don't you?
That's right. 20 years we've been doing this.
Now, this wagon behind us, you haven't had it long.
No, about a month. About
Wow.
1 month, yeah.
Isn't it? It goes to all extremes. You might talk to a gentleman that's had the thing for 40 years and then you speak to someone that's had it a month. Sitting here in all its opulence, you know, the station wagon, often overlooked for many years. We see this Plymouth Fury sitting here with its stainless steel, its two-tone paint, its original interior. What a car. What can you tell us about it?
Well, I've had it only 2 months, but I've been chasing it for 2 years. It's a South Dakota car. It showed up in Maryland in 1971 with 70,000 original mileage on it. And the guy had it, the second owner had it for 17 years. I talked to him for about an hour. He bought it from the original owner. He was a vendor here in Carlisle. He used to sleep in the car. And I told him, I says, I come in for 20 years and I've never seen the car. He said he used to put a car cover over it so people wouldn't bother him.
Let's look at the interior. This red, there's a lot of red going on back there. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's all original except the carpet. The carpet's been changed, and the outside of the car had one repaint, and the bumper's re-chrome. That's it.
We look up front under the hood. It looks like a big block there, the big Poly 318. They were large in dimension, the early 318s, but I bet that's effortless and I bet it goes along nicely.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it runs good.
It's beautiful when you look out the back, tailgate down, you look at the space. Again, you're hit in the face by the red. I mean, there's just so much opulence in that.
Yes, it is. Red was popular color back then.
Yeah. In the day, station wagon, a 6-way power seat.
That's correct. It'd be very scarce, I would imagine, don't you?
The options are amazing. It's interesting when the people bought the cars back in these times and they sat in the dealership and they ticked their little options box. They went with the 6-way power seat, but they didn't go with the passenger side door mirror.
No, they didn't. They saved a little money. It's probably $10 auction back then.
I'd like to make comment too on the full-size wheel covers as well. They're in beautiful condition.
Yes, they are. Those are original to the car. That's what I was told.
Jerry, thank you for being on today's show. Thanks there's a lot of people at home watching this and admiring your wagon. And again, I believe that it's the wagons, that cars like this that deserve some recognition. Thanks for being on today's show.
Thank you, Fletch. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. This is it. It doesn't get much better. The largest Chrysler event in the world. And of course, it's a Carlisle event. The 2015 Carlisle Chrysler Nationals. And you're seeing it first on Classic Restos. Thanks to Shannon's Insurance, Penrite Oil, Hare and Forbes Machinery House, and Pace Farm Eggs. Back with more after this.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's,
We've also got Shannon's Home and Contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
Penrite, Australian-made, family-owned and operated. Make premium quality engine and racing oils, warranty-approved coolants, automatic transmission and manual gear oils, a complete range of engine and fuel additives, heavy-duty and industrial products for every application. Visit penriteoil.com for more information. Penrite, Australian-made for Australian conditions since 1926.
If you need a new piece of equipment for your workshop, you need Hare and Forbes Machinery House. Hare and Forbes Machinery House have showrooms around Australia and New Zealand that will have you browsing for hours. See the largest range of industrial and workshop DIY tools. You will be greeted by friendly, helpful staff, and you can buy from anywhere online at machineryhouse.com.au. Hare and Forbes Machinery House. Find your closest store at machineryhouse.com.au. Okay, time for a long car now on today's show. A long two-door car and a very stylish one. We have Mark. How are you, Mark?
Great. How about you, Fletch?
I'm doing really well. You must feel like $1 million driving this car.
I do. It's so smooth.
It's been alluded to before in the past that on Classic Restos I say, have a go at that. Well, I don't say that much anymore, except for now. Have a go at this car. To me, it's beautiful. The lines are right. You know, out the back of the car, The feature of the tail lights, the die cast, how they wrap around and then follow the trunk, they've got their own style. I reckon that is just that's a neat design.
It's a gentleman's hot rod. You know, that's the way they always said it was. It's a performance car, but it's a luxury car too.
What's the colour, Mark?
It's turbine bronze metallic. It's off of the turbine car that was made in '63.
And how long have you had the car?
9 years.
Have you restored it, or did you buy it like this?
It was done when I bought it, and I've done a lot of other things to it.
Now, up front, we've got the 440 running there. Have you done anything there, Mark?
I've just detailed it. It's clean.
You can eat your lunch off that.
I try to.
I tell you what, you should use a plate. It's easier. Mark, we look at the interior now. Time for the black and the old Fletchy line of the black and the chrome. There's a little bit of chrome to stainless steel there, but down beside the seats to highlight the black. The interior, beautiful condition. Is that how the car came?
I did a lot of work to the interior. The back seat is original. The carpet's original.
Yep.
I replaced the front seats, the upholstery in it. But, other than that, just cleaning up.
I'll tell you what, if that dashboard is not rocket-inspired, well, nothing else is.
It is.
Tell us about the voltage on that dash.
They had the dash in '62 that was the illuminated dash. This dash here is just all slick and round, and it just wants you to go fast.
Slick and round and chrome. See, back in the time, I think, in the design department, when you guys got stuck, you just chromed everything.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Mark, your Chrysler 300 has made the grade on Classic Restos. 2 big episodes covering just some of the 2015 Carlisle Chrysler Nationals. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Nice meeting you.
With me now, 2015 Carlisle Chrysler Nationals event manager, Ed Bezeski. How you doing, Ed?
Very well. How are you, Fletch?
Good, thank you. Not only is it the largest Chrysler event on the planet, it's also one of the largest events for Carlisle too.
Absolutely. We have a couple big ones, but this is one of the biggest, and I'd have to say the best.
I often allude to the fact of coming to a Carlisle event every year varies so often. I mean, Building G, there's always something happening different in there. We are now in Building T, something different in here, and goes for Building Y as well. In your eyes, Ed, what is going to be outstanding for 2015?
All the things you just mentioned, really. Building G is always my favorite. It's a blast to do. I think this year doing something different, backing away from the muscle cars and doing the forward look display, I really think that's going to be the neatest thing, and the building is the perfect era for it. The building was built right about the same time as those cars.
That's right. I mean, as soon as you go into Building G, it's also one of the Fletch favourites as well. It's got atmosphere, hasn't it?
It does. I mean, everything else here is 4 walls and a roof, but that building just has so much character. I love it.
Now, Ed, inside Building T this year, I've looked around a little, and we'll see a bit more later on in the show. Right behind us, there's just this barn find here. There is so much variance in T this year.
Absolutely. That's always my goal. Building T, in my mind, should be a snapshot of the show field. So you come in here, you should see a little bit of everything you see out on the show field.
Ed, being an events manager to the grounds here that holds some of the largest auto events in the world, what goes into planning an event? I mean, I know it takes 12 months to do it.
It's more than 12 months. If we're not looking at things at least 2 or 3 years out, we're already behind.
Where do you see our classic car movement going to?
Hopefully it just continues to grow and people keep having fun with it. The big thing I see now is the late model swaps. I mean, putting a late model Hemi into an older car is really the wave of the future, and that's where I hope to go with one of mine pretty soon.
For more information and to select your Carlisle events, go to carlisleevents.com and then see it on a Fletch tour. And then you get to meet this guy. Thank you very much, Ed.
You're welcome. Thank you, Fletch, and thank you, everyone.
Moving through Carlisle events, and it is very well known for its themed buildings. Inside Building Y, we have the Barracuda display along with the TA Challenger going on this year for 2015. At the moment, we have David. How are you doing, David?
I'm doing fine, Fletch. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. I had to interview a man that's got the same colour car as his T-shirt.
Yeah, that it goes well with the car.
Now, David, this is a gorgeous Challenger that you've got behind us here. How long have you had it?
34 years.
You're not tired of it yet?
Not yet, no. I've had it a long time, had a lot of fun with it.
These cars are well known for their black hoods, and boy, when we talk black, we got black here, and we got the hood pins up front there, setting that off. Tell us the deal on the interior, because it really does look superb. What's going on in there?
I had it all reupholstered.
Also, to the pistol grip shifter there, but no console.
No console. I kind of didn't like that when I got the car, but a friend of mine said, you know, they all have consoles and yours just looks like all business. So I decided I do like that.
Now, David, this car is a driver. It doesn't travel along in a trailer. Tell us where you've driven from and how far.
I came from Rhode Island up in New England, and it's a 400-mile trip one way. So it'll be 800 miles this year just for Chrysler Carlisle. It's never seen a trailer, except when it was being restored. Otherwise, I just drive it because I'm not saving it for the next guy.
You are representing this building very well this year, and congratulations. Thanks for being on episode 1 of Classic Restos, the 2015 Carlisle Chrysler Nationals.
Thank you very much. It's good to talk to you, Fletch. It was a good time.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Well, here we are in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, United States of America. And you can join us on a Fletch tour in 2016. Have a look at this.
You deserve a Fletch tour. See the amazing Ford, GM and Chrysler Nationals at Carlisle events, along with museums and private collections in beautiful Pennsylvania, USA. Then it's the Motown city of Detroit and its region, taking in more die-hard stuff with incredible history. Rounding off with the Woodward Dream Cruise, the largest moving car cruise in the world.
One of the best things about a Fletch tour is you're really looked after.
It's something I've always wanted to do.
Very well organised. The tour company that put it together was great.
Go to classicrestos.com.au and click on the Fletch Tours icon for more information. Hope you're enjoying today's show. Back with more after this.
In 1926, Australia's Penrite Oil Company was established. Almost 90 years of research, development and refining under the harsh Australian conditions has made Penrite Oil what it is today. Precision, performance, reliability and protection. Championship winning products. Trust Penrite.
I spend a lot of time out here. The RT Charger's the real deal. An E49. Remember A-Charger? I've always got projects on the go, so Shannon's laid-up cover helps protect my restorations. I'm Mopar through and through. It's a passion Shannon's understands. I wouldn't insure my cars and bikes with anyone else.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
If you need a new piece of equipment for your workshop, you need Hare and Forbes Machinery House. From a garage jack through to a lathe, Hare and Forbes has the range. And Hare and Forbes Machinery House are Australian owned, established since 1930. You will be greeted by friendly, helpful staff, and you can buy from anywhere online at machineryhouse.com.au. Hare and Forbes Machinery House. Find your closest store at machineryhouse.com.au. Moving through today's show, we've got something a little bit unique. In 1965 Plymouth Barracuda. And we have Laurie. How are you, Laurie?
I'm doing great, Fletch. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. This car means a lot to you. What can you tell us about it?
It does. We've had it. We've been the owner for about 5 years. This is my Sunday driver. I love to take it out, take it to church, take it to the grocery store. It brings out the kid and everybody. They love to tell me the stories about their first car, their grandparents' car, their parents' car. It just takes you back.
Laurie, the car's got a 273 V8. How does it perform? Nice to drive?
It's very nice to drive. It sounds a little bit like a race car, and it's fun to drive. It really is.
You realise that you've got a car with the largest single piece of glass in the back. Have you heard that before?
We have heard that before, and we've heard that it's very rare to find, but we do have a couple of parts cars. We do have some spare glass that we keep track of, but it's a lot to clean.
When you look at cars like Corvettes and some of the big cars like the Boat Tail Rivieras, and you look at the rear glass there, to see the little A-body Barracuda come along, and it actually beats them all. This car here has the largest single piece of rear glass ever put into a motor car, which I think is a pretty big accolade.
I think so too, and I think that's why it shows so well.
What I like about the car is the little things. You look through onto the dashboard, and there's the original radio there. Stuff like that.
Yes, everything's all original.
Even the interior as well.
Yes, it is. So far, we probably will redo the seats at some point, But this car was very well loved and very well taken care of, and that's nice to see too. It's nice to see history preserved, and it is in really good shape.
Well, it's good to see a little bit of girl power here at Carlisle for the Chrysler Nationals for 2015. Laurie, pleasure catching up with you.
Thank you, Fletch. It's wonderful meeting you and catching up with you too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, I'm on the approach to Building G, a sensational building here at Carlisle Events, but I got a bit sidetracked along the way, and I've met this lovely guy here. His name is Don. How you doing, Don?
Good, Fletch.
That's the way. Now, Don's got a sensational 1955 DeSoto. It's an incredible car. Don, what can you tell us about it?
I bought the car at an auction when a gentleman had passed away, and they were selling his tools and air compressors and so forth. And after they sold all that stuff, the guy said, let's go up behind this building and sell this old car. Two of us followed the auctioneer behind the building. I bid it off for $900 and let it sit at home for several years before my wife said either get rid of it or restore it.
Isn't this amazing? About now is when depression starts setting in when you hear this story. $900. Have a look at the car. It's opulent in every way. It's been restored to every detail. It's got the Hemi up front. What size Hemi are we running there, Don?
291.
And how does it go?
291 runs good. Now this has got a 2-barrel carburetor on it. A lot of them had a 4-barrel carburetor, but I don't need that.
Now, the 291, did they build a smaller Hemi than that, Don?
Yes, they built a 261 and a 52 and 53.
And look, it's a 1955 car, but just describe, like, what is it like to drive?
Drives wonderful and it rides really good. It floats. It's a good driver.
Don, I love the DeSoto. The interior is amazing, everything about the car. To think that once upon a time it was a $900 car, well, when Don acquired it, and where he's got the car today is absolutely a credit to you, Don. Lovely talking to you.
Thank you, Fletch.
Good on you, Don. He's also ex-Air Force, ex-serviceman as well, so hats off to you there with a mountain of respect. And again, thanks for being on today's episode, Don.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Fletch.
Iconic Building G this year showcases the forward-look cars from the mid-50s through to 1961. With us now we have Merv with his 1959 Dodge. How are you, Merv?
Very good, Fletch.
This car has been painstakingly restored by yourself, right?
Yes. Everything but the paint itself. It's a 383 with the two 4-barrels, which makes 345 horsepower. Yep. And their terminology for it is a Super D500.
I mean, we got to keep reminding ourselves, 1959, awesome power for 1959. We've got it encapsulated around a body that just oozes opulence. I mean, everywhere you look on this car, there's a curve, there's gorgeous paint, there's an emblem, there's stainless steel trim. Those tail lights out the back, that's a rocket ship.
That's it. They call them launching pads. They call the antennas trolling rods.
Now, sitting in the beautiful interior, surrounded by opulence, we're facing the dashboard. Yes. That huge panel, like as though you're sitting in an aircraft or something. I mean, again, rocket jet inspired.
That's it. Yes, and it has. They're all centered in front of the driver. Push button control for the transmission. Push button control for the heater functions.
Back to the seats for a sec. Not only do we sit on these seats, they're 6-way power seats, and also on top of that, swivel seats. Merv, it's been absolutely wonderful talking to you today on Classic Restos. As I said earlier, Building G highlighting the forward look cars. And just on ending, why are they called the forward look cars? Well, it's pretty simple. Explain. Why are these cars called the forward look, Merv?
Well, the forward look, in 1955, they spent a lot of money, over $1 million to design the cars. And it was supposed to be, 55, they didn't have much fin yet, but they started, and then they progressed on the fins, got higher and longer. Yep. And supposed to make it look, one of Plymouth's slogans in 57 was, suddenly it's 1960. That was sort of the forward look.
Merv, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Yep, thank you. Thank you, Fletch.
Design, manufacture and engineering back in 1959 was quite amazing in a lot of ways. Car doors of today just don't close like this, do they? Well, what do we say about that? You have just seen some of the largest Mopar event in the world, the 2015 Carlisle Chrysler Nationals. And you've seen it first on Classic Restos, with episode 2 happening next week. And in the meantime, classicrestos.com.au is the website that you need for the DVD boxed sets of the show, Classic Restos merchandise, contact information on joining us on a Fletch tour in 2016, including Route 66, and the major sponsors as well. Now, until next week, no matter where you're watching from, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, signing off temporarily from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, United States of America, and I thank you very much for watching. You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/ClassicRestosTV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au. Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, Penrite Oil, Hare and Forbes Machinery House, and Pace Farm Eggs.